Okay. We're going to go counterclockwise. The roof is clockwise, but we're going to go counterclockwise. There's a brick. We got some stair-step cracks between the brick and mortar over here behind the fence at the front of the house. House faces south, so this is southeast corner of the house. We got a little stair-step cracks between the brick and mortar. This is going to be our water heater. This is going to be our water heater drain line. That's a primary drain line. It's not supposed to be closer to the ground than 3 inches. Coming along, we got vinyl windows, double pane vinyl frame. There's a bunch of window screens in the garage. I don't know if there's enough. I don't know if they fit. I don't know what kind of shape they're in. These windows are tinted, UV tinted. That's good. The brick has been painted. The brick has been painted. All this is going to be addressed. All this is going to be addressed in the condensing unit video. Coming along, we have this on the other side of the house as well. But see these metal posts? Those are tetanus shots. Those are trip, cut, safety hazards where the post has been cut back. We used to have a fence here at one time. Coming on along, the foundation might have been, and look here, this is going to get interesting, but we've replaced a lot of the crawl space vents, maybe added some crawl space vents. That's a good thing. That tells me that I might be able to, if they cared that much, I might be able to move around. You haven't seen that part of the video yet. You have. I haven't made it yet. Rain gutters are above and below grade. Above and below grade. See these cracks right here? Those are called shrinkage cracks. Some people call them corner cracks. Call it what you will. That's not a foundation issue. It's not a foundation issue. If it pops out and the brick falls because it's holding the brick, then that could be a brick issue, but not a foundation issue. If this crack went the other direction, is over here somewhere, that could be a foundation issue. But as it is, those corners, you know, call it what you will, corner pop, that's not a foundation issue. Now we've added soffit vents, but we've also got soffit vents. Are these supplements? Because some of them are spaced pretty far apart. This is a good, I'm using this one because it's a good example, but that vent's not going to breathe like it should. Should that have been replaced? You know, is that just a supplement? Saving that for you. We have a clean out here. Lawn sprinkler heads should not be closer than 12 inches to the structure, because brick is porous. For that matter, your vent into the crawl space is right there, and the sprinkler head is right next to that. That's kind of precarious. Okay, we've got a sewer cap that's coming loose right there. Good home. Good home. This is Bud. See this tree right here? This trees are not supposed to be closer than 25 feet to a structure because of the roots. We got a little bit of mulch right in here, and this step going into the, I'm saying this is the main bedroom suite bathroom. That's what it looks. Actually, it's the main suite bedroom. So the step's a little crooked right there, so it's not dimensionally uniform. Moving along, here's our main clean outs. Two main clean outs right here. This is the back exterior faucet. It does have a vacuum breaker. We got some high soil conditions right around here. High soil conditions. I'm not sure what this clean out pipe is for. I'm just not. Now this fountain is beautiful. I don't inspect them. But we got high soil, a little bit of debris. High soil, a little bit of debris. Got extension cords over here. So you're just not supposed to do that. Wood next to the house, you're not supposed to do that either. Termites will love that. This is the gas line coming into the house. This is the main shutoff for the gas line. It's like the plumbing video you're about to see, but parallel with the piping, that's on. Perpendicular with the piping, that's off. Now, you're allowed to have this type of valve on your gas. I don't know why. I don't know why it's not acceptable on water, but it is on gas. But it actually takes a wrench to turn that off. And there's nothing wrong with that. This flagstone, I got flagstone all over my house. I got more flagstone than this, I assure you. But it's not dimensionally uniform. And it's beyond the scope of this inspection too, by the way. It's not really what I do. So, but just if Granny comes to visit you, you might want to, you know, hold her by the elbow and let her tour your house. My granny saw my house once, but you know, I wish she'd come back, but it's not going to happen. Okay, this is the patio area. This is all in here. We'll get another look at it. You're fine if you don't mind being on video. Oh, that's my wife. Man,
That's a great,
everybody's going to be...
that's a great read.
Good home. This is baby. How you doing? Yay! You know, actually, the seller is on the patio with me. We're social distancing, and but he said it was a great alarm. And by the way, I'm in a 1950s house, so maybe he recognizes some of the. Okay, but anyway, what's going on? What's happening? Oh, that is such good news. I hear what you're saying, but I'd still like to get American Leak out for a second opinion to find out what's going on. We shouldn't have to live like that. That is such good news, because I've been, but I just still want to know what we got, and it's only going to be a couple $100. Yeah, it is. Okay, bye, babe. She doesn't know it, but she made the video. Okay, we're missing our door cover here. This is the patio fireplace. Dear listeners, you get to hear my sales calls. You get to hear my wife calling, because we got a very weak ground. See that ground right there? But I can be able to test this. Oh, it will not trip electrically. It will not trip. Even with that little amount of a ground, this receptacle should have tripped electrically. Let's see if but it will manually. It will trip manually. So what that tells me, and I don't know, it's cheap enough to replace these guys, but it's also true that this might not have been wired properly. I mean, everybody says white's neutral, and it is, and everybody says hot, black is hot, and it is. But you have two blacks in here. One's line and one's load. You cross line and load up, and then it'll test fine, but it won't trip electrically. So what'll happen is something else on this line. You'll have protection there. Yay! But you think you have protection here, but you don't. You don't. So, and again, easy enough to fix. It's most likely a new receptacle is only $10-15. I don't know, but changing the wires is even less. Just moving the wires around. Okay, this fireplace, it's a natural wood burning fireplace, double wall. Got a little loose brick right there. Hello. Okay, put that back. Do no harm. Do no harm. We're not here to
clean out.
Oh, that's a clean up. See, thank you. I'm glad you're here.
We purposely made it that way.
So this way you can rake the ashes out. Okay. Yeah. Well, then I'll just leave that.
He was building. I was like, oh, that's a cool idea.
Right. So this is the grate, and I don't know if this grate is sized properly. I don't think you can get a smaller grate, so it probably is. And we do not have it looks like it should be cleaned a little bit. What are the okay. Well, that's good. I'm looking at the lintel connections. The lintel connections look good. All right. So there we go. And this is kind of foolish, but this is called the Hearth. This is the Hearth extension. And we got a concrete floor out here. So really, you do not have a Hearth extension, a 24-inch Hearth extension in front of your fireplace, but then nothing's going to burn. But I should tell you that, if you're going to have a fire in here, and, that's the purpose of a fireplace, 36 inches. People should be made aware that there's a safety area around here. A lot of people do it with contrasting paint or something like that. That's one way to handle it. And a lot of people just ignore me, and that happens a lot. Okay. Rain gutters are not supposed to divert that close to the structure. And that's reverse polarity. So even if that works or not, the polarity on the wire is reversed on that. And these are probably on the same circuit. It'd probably be pretty easy, but the polarity. Okay, energy comes out of here. turns your fan around and then goes in there. That's how alternating current works. So it's like water. It pushes the mill makes electricity, grinds corn, does whatever you want to do. So anyway, our power's coming out of here, and that will not allow me to trip this device electrically, even though it trips mechanically. So we got a weak ground. You might have a wire, reverse polarity. All that's relatively easy to take care of. Doesn't make it right. Moving along here, we got some repairs, some obvious repairs on the east side of the garage. And then to go on, we got the shrinkage cracks at the corners. We talked about that. Okay, the garage floor, it's got cracking in it, and that's normal. I mean, yay, I got cracks. No, it's not yay, I got cracks. It's not yay, I got cracks at all. But you're not going to get around it. You're not going to get around it. Concrete does two things. It gets hard and cracks. Ha ha ha. Okay. So these are all pretty typical. These are all pretty typical. And they're here. We're looking at them. Okay, the garage casement. The garage casement's not supposed to be in direct contact with the cement like that. If it's in direct contact with the cement like that, then water can wick up into the wood and cause it to rot. So, moving on along. Oh, he went through the back gate. We got a foundation guy coming in here. Okay. I have to break off and talk to this guy, this rascal. Okay, we've got some stair-step cracks between the brick and mortar right in here. Right in here, just a few stair-step cracks. Now when I see and this is the patio area. It's kind of interesting. Above and below grade. This is the closed dryer vent. It's kind of stuck open here. The big clog, you want to clean it. You want to make sure that that flap goes down real good. There's another one of those hillbilly home inspection. There's another post right there. We've got some exposed rebar right here. That should be sealed to keep it from rusting, because when the rebar rusts, it expands, and the concrete's always shrinking, and it's going to cause your concrete to bust up if you don't address that in some kind of way. When I see the soil that's upset like this around here, that's called a clue. I mean, I can't prove it, but I think that this house might have experienced some foundation repair at one time. So, and up here, that's the kitchen vent fan, and then right up there, I don't know if you can see it, but the shingles are kind of mismatched right up there at the top third, and that gives me an indication. That's called a clue. Gives me an indication that that little section of roof covering might have been replaced at one time. Moving on along, fence tunning, corner pops, all this painted. See the soffit vents all clogged? And it's now over here quite a ways, and we have the new replacement. So is that a supplement, or did that replace a clogged one? What's going on here? Moving on along, 3 or more steps should have a handrail. We got 4 here. Handrail would be ugly. I wouldn't use one, but I'm a hypocrite. And then I had another video going, and I was cussing on it because the salesman was upsetting me. So anyway, I kind of explained these planter boxes. Maybe I could edit that down. That's what I'll do. Maybe I can edit that down. The other one was going clockwise. This one's going clockwise. I'm not a good editor. No grounding. No grounding. So even if there is GFCI there, I can't tell. This planter box, okay, if you're going to use it for a planter box, if you're going to use it like this, then it should be lined with mastic sealer, and weep holes should be drilled in the mortar so that any water gets out. See this one? They didn't do that. We don't have weep holes. They didn't put mastic sealer in there. So when you water this, it holds water. Brick is porous. Holds water next to your wall, gets into your wall system, goes down into your crawl space system. That's how you get problems. That's how you get problems. The tree, again, too close. Look at this. Okay? The tree pushed the ground up. It's going to affect your foundation. And see the grading along here? I also think of that at one time. At one time, we might have had some foundation repair here. Fence next to the house. It's conducive to wood destroying insects by design. Now, bonus round. Yay, bonus round. This looks like an off-market, off-label. I'm not an asbestos person. I'm not an asbestos specialist. Nothing I can say. I'm not qualified to even call that asbestos, but it sure looks like it. Looks like it's a drain pipe. It looks like it comes from our property, but it might not. And it probably operates very well, but it's asbestos. If it's encapsulated, it's fine. If it's underneath the ground, that would be encapsulated. Out here, it should be painted. Should have been painted. And, you know, but it's out here in the middle of nowhere. It's out here in the middle of nowhere, so maybe everybody's okay with it. I don't know. That's not what I do, but that's the bonus round. And again, we're going around the home. We're going around the home clockwise. Counterclockwise, excuse me. The structure faces south. The roof video you saw, we went around clockwise.